I'm Oscar Diveroli, President of Rubico Shutters Incorporated. As you know, your new home comes equipped with a complete custom set of Rubico shutters for your protection in the event of a storm. Your builder has arranged for you to receive this video to show you the items you will need to install your shutters, along with safety and maintenance tips, and an installation demonstration of each of the 6 different shutter systems that Rubico manufactures and distributes. Watching this video will make your job easier when a storm is approaching. I'd like to urge you to practice installing your shutters at least once prior to the approach of an actual storm. This way, you'll be familiar with the installation process and you'll know how much help and time you need to allow to have your shutters in place. Speaking of time, always allow yourself plenty of time to install your shutters. Don't wait until the last minute. The power could be out long before the actual hurricane hits, and as wind speed increases, so does the potential for injury. Once again, please take the time to watch this video in its entirety with all of your family members so that when you need to install your shutters, it will be an easy and safe process.
Before you actually begin installing your Rubico shutters, there are a few items you will need, both for safety and to make the installation easier. Taking a few simple precautions will help prevent injury. Always wear gloves when handling your shutters. Although the edges of the panels are smooth, they are very sharp. Your steel panels can easily cut or injure you. Wear a back support. Both the weight of the panels and the way you lift them could potentially cause back injury. Wear a heavier form of clothing. In case you lose your grip and one of the panels falls against your body, heavier clothing will provide an extra measure of protection against injury. Jeans and long sleeves are recommended to prevent minor cuts. Eye protection is a good idea anytime you are working with tools and materials. Remember, it's better to be cautious and protected than to risk unnecessary injury. You will, of course, need a ladder to install your shutters. Be sure the ladder you're using is marked OSHA approved. Speaking of ladders, here are some important safety guidelines for you to follow to prevent climbing-related injuries. Choose the correct ladder for the job. First, determine the style of ladder your home requires. The most common types for household use are the step ladder and the extension ladder. A solid step ladder will do the job for many first-floor windows, but if you have a 2-story home, you will need an extension ladder. Make sure your extension ladder has standoffs for stability. Make certain that the duty rating or maximum weight capacity is sufficient to handle the total weight of the person on the ladder, tools, and materials, which in this case may be a storm panel. Of course, make certain that the ladder is long enough for the job at hand, as most falls from ladders are the result of people overextending themselves on too short of a ladder. When using a step ladder, the highest safe step is 2 to 3 steps from the top cap. Never stand on the top of a step ladder. When using an extension ladder, never climb above the 4th rung from the top. When preparing to shutter, inspect your ladder to be certain that all parts, such as spreaders and shoes, are in safe operating order. Also, be certain if you store your ladder outside that weathering has not in any way compromised the structural integrity of the ladder. Make certain that your ladder is always safely set on secure ground and that you have a level footing. Wear proper footwear and never climb in sandals or bare feet. Be certain that the steps or rungs are free of oil, grease, or residue. When working on an extension ladder, be sure to cordon off the area below so no one enters an area where falling tools or panels can cause serious injury. Use a tool belt whenever possible to leave your hands free for climbing. Also, be sure to look for overhead electrical wires before raising or relocating a ladder. and never attempt to move a ladder when someone is on it. You'll need a battery-powered drill. Using battery power rather than electric will protect you from stripping screws and allow you to install your shutters even if the power goes off. Be sure you have 2 batteries for your drill and a number 3 Phillips drill bit to lessen the potential for stripping. You will also need a Phillips head manual screwdriver and hammer. This will come in handy if your screw heads are clogged with paint. You are now ready to begin. The direct mount shutter system, or trackless system, consists of the panels, aluminum keyhole washers, center span stitch bolts where applicable, and the screws and neoprene washers already in your walls. Begin by distributing the panels, matching the numbers on your panels to the numbered floor plan provided with your shutter system. Next, with your cordless drill and number 3 bit, loosen all the screws or bolts, backing them out of the wall about 1/2 inch. Hang the panels on each opening to be shuttered. Be sure that the panels are hung from left to right for a vertical installation or bottom to top for a horizontal installation. Place a keyhole washer on each screw or bolt between the head of the screw and the panel. Tighten down all the screws. Whenever there is an inverted keyhole center span, insert a stitch bolt and tighten securely by hand. Your direct mount installation is now complete. When installing shutters on second-story windows, it is preferable to have someone hand you the panels one at a time through the window. If necessary, you can have them handed to you from the ground. If you have a shutter system with tracks, your system components will consist of the panels and a variety of the following: an H header or top track, a U header, also a top track, and a studded sill, which can be either a top or bottom track, and wing nuts. Begin by distributing the panels around your home, again using the floor plan provided. Your permanently mounted tracks are ready to accept the storm panels. The removable tracks are identified by a number which corresponds to a number on your floor plan. To install the removable tracks, first remove the wall bolts completely. Line up the holes in the track with the holes in the wall. Then replace and tighten the bolts using a neoprene washer on the outside of the track. Remember to always install the panels from left to right. If your system has a header, insert the panel into the top header, then swing the panel toward the wall allowing the studs on the bottom sill to come through the keyhole in the panel. Put a wing nut on the left stud only. This leaves the right stud free to accept the overlap of the next panel. Repeat this process with all the panels on the opening. If your system has a sill instead of the header, follow the same steps, but place a wing nut on both the top left and bottom left of the panel as you go.